Roosevelt's experience is a testament to the immense challenges faced by opposition parties in Nigeria. Access to venues and police protection during political events is not merely a logistical concern. It's a reflection of the broader struggle for democracy in a society where these fundamental rights are constantly under threat. As we delve deeper, it becomes evident that the political landscape in Lagos has turned increasingly hostile. Allegations of collusion between police forces and political thugs fuel a climate of intimidation, casting serious doubts on the integrity of upcoming elections. This is not just about politics, it's about the very foundation of a fair democratic process. In the wake of recent disruptions, the aftermath has been nothing short of alarming. Supporters are left injured, and property is damaged, starkly underscoring the urgent need for comprehensive reforms in Nigeria's political and law enforcement systems. It raises an essential question: how can a nation thrive when its people are systematically oppressed? Moreover, intimidation at political gatherings continues to escalate. Events are disrupted, property is destroyed, and civil rights violations are becoming the norm. This situation poses a significant challenge to the very essence of democracy. The citizens' right to voice their political opinions must not only be protected but celebrated. Expressing palpable frustration, the speaker highlights law enforcement's alarming failure to respond effectively to these growing threats. This inaction points to a troubling lack of accountability and communication within the police system. Is it any wonder that public trust is eroding in the very institutions meant to protect them? There's a prevailing belief among politicians that the populace will remain passive and accept their fate. However, the speaker vehemently argues that this underestimation of the citizens' resolve is miscalculated. The willingness of the people to stand up for their rights is a powerful force that should not be ignored. The speaker emphasizes the necessity of unity in political efforts, asserting that no single political party can succeed alone. A coalition among all Nigerian political factions is not merely beneficial, it is vital for achieving common goals and ensuring that the voices of the people are heard and respected. Concerns about political violence are rampant, with the speaker sharing personal anecdotes of harm and destruction during political campaigns. These experiences reveal a disturbing trend where safety is compromised in the pursuit of political power, highlighting a broader issue of the conduct of political affairs in Nigeria. Turning our focus to the younger generation, the speaker addresses the widespread perception that Nigerian youth are passive. In reality, they are not cowards, rather they are being pushed to respond against oppression. This undeniable frustration points to a burgeoning determination among the youth to reclaim their rights and shape their future. The impact of violence on the community is profound, with the speaker recounting personal losses and the crushing financial burden of medical expenses resulting from attacks. These harsh realities further fuel their urgent call for action, demanding that the political climate be made safer and just. Unity among the opposition is critical. The speaker discusses the importance of strategic collaboration to prevent vote splitting in future elections. This collaborative spirit is essential to effectively challenge and dethrone the current government that has failed the people. Furthermore, the conversation sheds light on the potential for established parties, like the PDP, to forge coalitions for enhanced political strength. This adaptability is crucial, as it has the potential to reshape the political landscape in the looming elections, creating a more formidable opposition force. A glaring neglect of basic infrastructure, such as streetlights and inner roads, underscores the failure of local governance in Lagos. This lack of attention to essential services has created a perilous environment for residents, exposing the stark reality of their everyday lives. The speaker does not hold back in accusing the APC of grossly misusing public funds for their personal gain. From questionable expenditures on party activities to inflated project costs, this revelation speaks volumes about the entrenched corruption within the government, eroding public confidence. The importance of local politics cannot be overstated. Effective governance necessitates leaders who prioritize community needs above their personal ambitions. Perhaps an architect could emerge as a potential leader, guiding better urban planning that truly reflects the people's interests. Navigating party dynamics is a daunting task for political aspirants, especially as alliances shift and voter expectations evolve. The potential ramifications of these changes on future election outcomes are substantial and cannot be dismissed lightly. Further, the role of local government in fostering voter engagement is paramount. Constituents frequently feel disconnected from politicians, and robust outreach initiatives combined with genuine community involvement can help rekindle the lost public trust, serving as a cornerstone for democratic renewal. Finally, Building coalitions across various political parties is not just desirable, it is imperative for creating a unified front. This strategy aims to bolster the opposition, enhancing their chances of electoral success in a landscape fraught with complexity. However, the internal divisions within the Labour Party, represented by the Nnadi and Apawari groups, spotlight the challenges of coalition support. This fragmentation poses a significant obstacle to achieving a united political front. Compounding the uncertainty is INEC's hesitance to interpret a Supreme Court judgment regarding the Labour Party's leadership. This delay exacerbates the precarious situation as elections draw closer, leaving the party in a state of limbo. In response to these challenges, a caretaker committee has been established nationwide to build party structures down to the ward level. This strategic effort is critical for stabilizing the party ahead of elections, ensuring it is poised to make its mark in the turbulent political arena.
Party in Lagos State, Gbadebo Rosevival, on Saturday formally joined the African Democratic Congress and thereafter declared that the party represents a strong coalition to rescue Nigeria ahead of the planned general election in 2027. The declaration, which was made in Alimosho local government area, was nearly disrupted as suspected political thugs attempted to stop the program. Police operatives were also sighted at the venue, prompting concerns among supporters. In the wake of all that, Rosevival said, "We're not holding a political rally, but a political meeting, which we have constitutional rights to do. However, we'll meet with the Commissioner of Police to know why his men are here and whether they are carrying out their duty of providing us protection or otherwise." GRV, as he is popularly called, now joins us to share his worldview on Lagos politics thus far, reasons for defection, and the circumstances that led to the reported attack. Good morning, and welcome back to the morning show, GRV.
Thank you.
Good to have you join us.
Good to have you.
All right, two things to start off the conversation. You have moved from Labour Party to the coalition ADC, African Democratic Congress, and then yesterday was the formal declaration. I know that there have been words around you were, purportedly denied usage of some halls, and then ultimately yesterday there were issues with law enforcement authorities. What actually happened, and why did you decide to move yet again from Labour Party to the coalition?
Okay, thank you so much. So yesterday was the culmination of a situation where the Nigerian police and thugs of the APC showed themselves to work hand in hand to disrupt and to create a one-party state.
You knew them to be thugs of the APC?
100%, and I'll tell you why. As that our event was supposed to hold on Saturday, we had paid for a field, right, a space in Alimosho. We had announced it. We had gotten permission from the police command in that area. Then on Thursday, we got reports that the Commissioner of Police says our event cannot hold. Thursday night, all the LCDA chairmen, in the APC chairmen, in the company of over 80 policemen, a Black Maria, and several Hilux vehicles, we have videos there online, went and occupied that field, right? Said that our event cannot happen. I should go and talk to the Commissioner of Police. That he said I should come and see him. I go to the Commissioner of Police. I call, he does not pick. I text, he does not respond. I wait there for 2 hours, and then I left, understanding that it was a decoy to get me off that field, right? Now, on the Saturday, APC holds a rally on a field I paid for without any written explanation from the Commissioner of Police why I cannot have my event there. While APC held its own rally on that field, we have videos. This is not hearsay. There are videos, they are online.
Which field was this?
Lion Field in Alimosho. APC held its event there. They cordoned off all the roads, and the police protected the APC.
You paid to the local
I
government?
paid to the people in charge, the CDA in charge of it, right? Okay. We accepted that. We made alternative plans, 4 alternative plans. Okay.
Wow.
We had a hall where we're going to do our affirmation, which we did successfully. And we had a field that our people were supposed to go to for our meeting, right? That was kept secret because we suspected this kind of thing were to happen, because there's no reason why the local government chairman in the company of so many policemen will go and harass the CDA that why should they rent out a field to us, that this event cannot happen here. Now, our people have successfully started going to the other field, right? The DPO of that area came and saw them, went in, asked questions, came out, made calls, and shortly after, a whole team of police came there, opened the gate, stood back, and then let the thugs in. Again, we have videos of all of this. So you see a situation where the police yesterday superintended attack of property, violence. My own sister was rushed to the hospital. My blood sister, the director of RV Foundation that was there to do our healthcare outreach, was rushed to the hospital and was stitched on her head. Wow. My aide had a concussion. He's bleeding from his ears. Wow. Right? The police were there and superintended the destruction of all these buses. In Nigeria, as hard as it is today, think about how much it's going to cost to repair all these buses.
I can see things that look like bullet holes. Were they shooting?
There was shooting in the venue. The police shot. But I cannot say that. I think those were stones that destroyed those buses. Those were stones. Yeah. But you see the level of destruction. Police supposed to protect rented buses. These were police supposed to protect lives and property. Yeah. Now, I'm telling you that this was happening while in Lion Field that I paid for, the APC was having a field day. No thugs, no weapon, nothing like this.
So did you challenge the leaders of that organization in that field for AP? What the leaders of the people that were having their rally in the field that you paid for? Did you ask them why they were there, and did you challenge them?
I went to the field on Friday morning, and there's a video online of that as well. I spoke to the police. The CDA have done their duty. We've reported to police. They've given us our receipt. They did not imagine that there will be a whole occupation of their field. There was a lady that was supposed to celebrate her 70th birthday on that Friday on that field. An old retiree. Her event was completely cancelled because of that situation. So, you see, there's a bigger issue here, and you are seeing it across Nigeria with the coalition. You see it in Kaduna with El-Rufai and the ADC. You are seeing it with even just the coalition meeting that had to happen, where several venues had to be called before it was successfully had. And there's an attempt to create a one-party state to intimidate us, because now you have a situation where you're destroying vehicles so that people will not rent vehicles to you again if you want to have a political meeting. Right. That was a church. That field was in a church. A private organization in a church. They came into this place, destroyed it, and locked it and said, I could not go in. On what basis? It is a church.
You said yesterday that you will consult with the Commissioner of
No,
Police.
that was on Friday.
On Friday.
From Lionfield, I went to the Commissioner of Police office. I called him, I texted him, he did not respond. I was there for 2 hours waiting. Despite the fact that the area commander at Lionfield told me that the Commissioner of Police said I should come and see him immediately to discuss this. Okay. Right? And I obeyed and left and went directly to GRA for that meeting. Yeah. But again, I still say, this is a bigger issue.
But you didn't see him?
I did not see him. He was supposed to be waiting for me. He said I should come there.
He hasn't called you back?
He hasn't called me back. He did not reply my text. So, but this is a bigger problem. You see, violence is always the last refuge of incompetence. Do you understand? When a people are so scared, but instead of doing the work to make their people, to endear themselves to their people, they resort to violence to intimidate and suppress people, you have a situation where Nigeria is only going to get worse. But the mistake they are making, and which is very ironic, because these are the same people that their claim to fame is standing up against the military, is that they think that Nigerians are cowards. When the police starts to behave like this and they're corrupting all institutions and all institutions are losing their respect in the eyes of Nigerian people, Nigerians are eventually going to stand up.
So, but you have lodged a formal complaint, correct? Have you done that?
Lodged a formal complaint to who?
To the police. Have you done that?
To the police
yes,
that came and said I cannot go into...
Why does that matter? You still have... It is your right.
My lawyers will do that. My lawyers will do that to fulfill all righteousness. Yes, so but from what I saw, they had a whole DCP be a gatesman to a church yesterday.
A DCP?
A DCP.
You have proof, evidence.
Yeah, there's videos. Yeah. Arise was there.
What do you mean to be a gateman?
He prevented me from going in. He was a gateman yesterday. They had the whole squad, whole team come there.
Wow.
What were we going to do in a church? Were we going to destroy government property? Were we going to protest against the government?
Jeremy, let me ask you this. And I know that you, as a citizen, you have the right to choose anywhere that you want to make your, your meeting, your affirmation. But then why Alimosho? That's one. Then secondly, do you think that yesterday was about you, or was it about Aregbesola, who is considered to be a strong man in Alimosho, and of course who is now I believe the General Secretary or Organizing Secretary of the ADC? Or it was about the two of you?
Okay, so let's first start from this. The fact is that Labour Party won Alimosho in last election. Hands down. It has never been done in last 20 years. For the presidential. For the presidential.
Yeah.
We won. So there's that reality that the politicians are still dealing with, right?
Yeah, but do you know the issues that they attributed that to?
What was that?
Internal wranglings, people voted against certain, different
whether they attribute it to this or that, right? Okay, they should have had peace and had a peaceful election for governorship now. They should have had peace and had a peaceful election for governorship and would have done it again. Do you understand? It's not about that. It's about the people. How many people are in a political party compared to how many people form the population of Alimosho? Yeah. It's not about that. So that's the first thing. The second reason, you asked why Alimosho. I flagged off my campaign from Alimosho in 2022. And this is part of a divisional tour, which we are still going to do. Do you understand? This nonsense that they are doing is not stopping what we are going to do. We are still going to move ahead. It's part of a divisional tour. Ikeja, Badagry Division, Lagos Island, and then Ikodu Division.
The 5 divisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. Alimosho was selected as the place where we'll do it for the Ikeja Division. And for all intents and purposes, this was just supposed to be a simple gathering of people. Right? Peter Obi would have sent a representative, just people to gather. We're not going to walk on the street. We're not doing any rally. And even if we were, it's in our right to do that. But that's not what we're doing. This was not a protest against the government. We are allowed to gather. It's our constitutional right. We are not did Abacha do more than this?
We're not campaigning.
We're not campaigning.
Yeah.
It's our right to gather. Right. It's our right to organize.
Yes.
Right? And then when we talk about the strength of Aregbe and Alimosho, certainly is a force. Certainly is a force. And that's why we are talking about a coalition. Because no political party can do this by themselves. And this has to be a coalition of all Nigerians, a broad spectrum of everybody.
Have you met with him? Was it meant to be part of your declaration yesterday?
He's a national security officer. He's in charge of the Southwest. He's supposed to be there. But he was not going to be there. Because he's in Malaysia. We spoke this morning, right? So this was not about anything. His people were not there. His team, Omoloabi, they were not. This was Labour Party obedience coming to the ADC. Right. So even if they want to try and twist that propaganda, it is not.
So that was a very powerful statement you just made. That you said it's the Labour Party, the obedience movement coming into the ADC. The ADCs.
Sorry, let me rephrase that because I know how they're going to twist it.
Because that's what you just said.
Members of the Labour Party that have decided to come into the coalition. Members of the Labour Party that have decided to join me as my supporters to go into the coalition.
Many people will say that this your move from the Labour Party is like a step away from this obedient movement that fueled your campaign, that put you there, that won you all these votes during the last election. And now you are in a coalition that has, people like Atiku Abubakar, we're speaking about the presidential election at this point. We also want to know, is Peter Obi in the ADC as we speak right now? Because I haven't really seen a statement from him saying, yes, he joined the coalition, but I haven't seen him saying that I have defected, I have left the Labour Party.
We are members of the coalition.
So what does that even mean?
It means that we are coming together. We are coming together. Let me answer. We are coming together. There's a dance that's happening, right? Coming together, trying to agree on the way forward. The ADC has been adopted as the party of the coalition, right? And we're going to come together to face the ruling party because we all agree that we cannot afford to divide the opposition votes.
You have not answered my question.
I'm not going to speak for Peter Obi.
No, but you should know because it's a party.
Yes, certainly. And you should also know that I will not make any move without his understanding and his acknowledgement, because we are part of that same block, right?
Okay.
So everything has been discussed, we're working together. Let me put it that way.
Will you remain in ADC if Peter Obi decides to stay with either the Labour Party or the PDP?
I believe it's too soon to have this kind of conversations. I mean, I'm just looking at a situation where I have people in the hospital. I have to pay for all those bus damages because the police is not going to do that. Nigerian government is not going to do that. I have to take that cost, right? So,
will you sue? Will you take a legal action?
I will leave that to my lawyers. I have little faith. Every time these things happen, the faith that I have in any institution in this country is reducing and reducing and reducing. And it must also be said at this point, because what they are telling us and young men and my generation is that if you are going to engage in politics, right, you have to come with violence. That's what these people have done. And we saw a taste of it in 2023. And the police, though they were indirectly involved because they looked away from the violence that happened, at least we could rationalize that in some sort of way. They looked away. This one, we saw them literally shepherd in the thugs, right? And it must be said that there's no monopoly of violence. We are trying to be civilized, but these people consistently push us in a way that is not civilized.
Is that a threat? There's no monopoly on
violence. There's no monopoly on violence.
When you say things like that, it could be used against you.
If they want to use it against me, they can. And I'm saying it again, there's no monopoly of violence. My sister is in the hospital.
How is she, by the way?
She's getting better.
And what
She's
exactly
in good
happened
spirits.
to her? What exactly
Dogs
happened
came,
to your sister?
hit her, hit the car glasses, destroyed all the glasses. The shard entered her head, and she had to go to hospital to be stitched.
Oh my goodness.
So when I say there is no monopoly of violence, right? I'm not saying this as a buzzword because it's not just me.
Are you saying that?
There are a lot of other young people that were hurt yesterday. Those bus drivers whose cars are destroyed, you think they're just going to smile and be happy? What did they do wrong?
That there could be a situation in which you can be pushed to retaliate with violence.
This is not even about me. This is about all the young people. This is about all the young people that were hurt.
Yeah.
And SARS, this is how it started. Young people were being oppressed. They came out to stand and were hurt again. And there's only so much. Nigeria is not, you see, there's a belief that they think Nigerians are cowards. We are not cowards, though. And they should know better. Because they were the ones that faced the military. They should know better. Look at all those buses that were destroyed. At last count, over 75. Buses destroyed. People hurt, phones smashed. The mixer for the church has been stolen. That's over 20-something million naira. So people are just, for what? For what, really?
Did you ever say that it could get this bad?
If I made alternative plans in a church, so at least, even if you don't like Gbadebo, have the fear of God. You cannot come and destroy a church, right? If I wanted violence, I would have gone to Lionfield with all my people and gone to go and meet them there. I left them, even though I've paid for the field. I did not get a refund. I left them, right? So you cannot say that I went to look for violence. They did not know where we're going to be. Even all my members, to the last minute before they knew we're going to that field, in a church. So they brought the violence. How long are they going to continue doing this? How long? How long are we just going to continue taking? From 2023, I buried 8 people. 5 people not work again because some talk came and hit them with sticks. I've had to go and pay so many hospital bills. Then to come so early in the game, show your hand like this with so much violence, and we are just supposed to continue taking it and turn the other cheek? No. They did not turn the other cheek for the military now. We'll learn from their example. So if they want to come and say, use anything against me, we'll put a mirror to them as well.
All right. So what specific idea or ideology of this coalition that you have joined now pushed you to join the party? What is it about the coalition at this point
Okay,
that you think can...
So to my mind, we are at a precipice in this country. And for very practical reasons, we cannot afford to divide our votes. If we are going to do this and do it seriously, right? And you see, every time you run, people rise up in hope to try and make an effect on their leadership and everything, and that hope is crushed. Your country is dying. Every time that happens, your country is dying more and more because there is a 4-year period. People are supposed to experience your government, experience your policy, and come back and give a referendum on it. And that's how the country gets better. But if, on the other hand, their will is constantly suppressed, that exchange starts to die. So for me, we have a situation where opposition needs to come together, ideas and policies need to be discussed, and the person that has the best ideas and the best policy should shepherd and helm the ship that we're going to go into the next election, right? But we have seen what happened in 2023, right? So you cannot now. We have to be realistic. A point comes where you have to be realistic and understand that these are the dynamics, and you have to play the ball that you are given. Play the hand that you are given.
Are you assuming or hoping that 2027 will be a two-horse race, APC and the coalition?
That is what we are working for. We are all working for that.
You think that will happen? Ever happen?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's
What will happen to PDP? What will happen to the old Labour that you are leaving?
Okay. Why don't we understand also that the PDP can be part of a coalition? That's why it's called a coalition. The PDP can become part of this coalition.
So, is that a strategy now? Is that what what you're talking about?
The success of a coalition is to ensure that the opposition is completely united.
Okay.
Whatever discussions, whatever conversations, whatever arrangements or agreements that can be reached must be reached, right? That for me is the ultimate success of the coalition. So PDP currently, they're doing their Congress and all of that. They have their own situation with Wike as well that I cannot really speak authoritatively on. But let us hope that they're able to do their convention and it goes smoothly and there are no law cases anymore. There are still conversations to be had. The gladiators in the PDP are going to be talking to these gladiators here.
In the ADC?
Yes. Nobody is going to go into an election with this kind of people divided. We all know. We have all agreed on this matter.
But that's what will happen.
What? Let us see.
You have all agreed. I mean, including the gladiators within the PDP that are in power at this point. Because there's been this conversation about whether or not Peter Obi will go into the PDP.
Or Goodluck Jonathan will come out. Bala Mohammed will run.
Are you part of all of that conversation?
Conversations are ongoing. Ongoing. All these conversations are ongoing. Trust me.
GRV, why is the possibility of you having tried PDP, Labour, and now you're trying, that would be bad English, you're trying to try, you're going into the ADC?
No, he's moved into the ADC.
Oh, you moved into ADC. Why do you think it is impossible for you to try the APC? That's what Jando...
Never.
Hold on, one second.
Not Jando.
Hold on. Jando has just
Jando.
moved to APC.
That's Jando's business.
Funsho Duarte has left where he was to PDP. I'm saying this because the people that you are now consulting with, the Aregbe Sholas, the Rotimi Amechis, the El-Rufais, these are founding members of the APC. So if there's a coalition, if you're having fanciful ideas about a coalition that will mean well for Nigeria. A good chunk of them are coming from APC. So what is it that you have against APC? Is it the president? Is it the personality of the president? Or the idea that they're just the behemoth that you want to defeat?
You see, you have framed your question at a national level, right? I'm not playing national politics.
Okay.
My first love is Lagos.
Yeah.
Right? My first love is Lagos. And I vehemently, from the depths of my soul, resent everything that APC has done in Lagos. And I say it without apology. I was in Alimosho yesterday. Look at the state of the inner roads in these communities. That these same local government chairmen are carrying police around and stopping people from having a gathering. They drove on those inner roads without any shame. Without any shame. You have a situation where there's a complete state capture of the state. They use violence to intimidate and suppress opposition. Street lights, there are so many parts of Lagos, there are no street lights at night. Even when we wanted to record the armed men at the Lion Field, we could not do it during the night because there are no street lights. We have to wait for the daytime, right? And people have so normalized this. And it is a failure for what Lagos is, what Lagos ought to be, what Lagos has been since the 1800s, right? I carry that history in me. So I feel that there's a desecration that these people have done for the last 20 years. Do you understand? So it is not about national politics. Politics is local. When I start operating at that national level, I can start to frame my thinking around the El-Rufais, the Amechis, all of that. I'm in Lagos. At every step I take the best step that can allow me to make a difference to my people of Lagos. And that's why I can never join the APC. Because I cannot join a party that has consistently used the Commonwealth of Lagos State for their own selfish interest, when I know what Lagos can be if our Commonwealth is applied in a way that puts the people first.
When you say that, what do you mean by that? For their own selfish interests? And who are you talking about? Who are you referring to?
I'm talking about the people that have been in charge of the APC for the last 20 years, from the person that is currently our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to all the people that he has had in office afterwards. Some have done better than others. I also give credit, right, for some governors that did better than others. But the fact still remains that they sustained a structure that was about taking out of our Commonwealth, right, and using it for their own benefit. I mean, look at all the properties that have been taken.
Asking, using it for their own benefit, their own selfish benefit. What are you talking about specifically? Or just for the benefit of our viewers?
I mean, I was on Arise where we were talking about the funds that Lagos State was using for their own party activities. Over millions, hundreds of millions that Governor Sanwo-Olu used for himself, his own personal law case, political law case in 2023. I was on Arise where I talked about it. I came on Arise to talk about how they use billions to say they use for fan and air fresheners. And they came out to come and say that it was a typo. I mean, I've consistently been breaking all of these things down. So if anybody is interested, they can go and search online. I've put out several statements analyzing the improper use of our Commonwealth. And this also goes back. I'm talking about properties that are being taken, indigenous lands that are being taken without proper compensation, properties of the federal government that were given that, but the property of Lagos that politicians have taken as their own without buying properly. I'm talking about the system that exists where, from everything, down to the bus driver, where people are taking more money from him than he makes in a day, right? And that money is not being accounted for. And the people that are taking that money are then used violently to suppress them as well, as we saw yesterday, right? So I've identified, to the projects that are highly overinflated. Our blue line, yes, it is working now. Right, but also go and look at Ethiopia, the line that's linking Mumbai to the capital, Nairobi to Mombasa. High speed, Shinkansen type lines are what they are enjoying at almost the same price that they are charging us for the blue line. I've talked about this for years. I've been consistent. So I think anybody that has followed my trajectory understands my passion and how I feel very strongly about this. Let's just
And as an architect, you'll be able to improve on that.
I think it's time that Lagos got an architect. We've
right?
got lawyers, we've got accountants. The accountants raised money. Lawyers did well with, open door courts. I have to give credit for that.
Yeah.
Let's get better planning.
You also
in
gave
Lagos.
credit to Lagos governors that have done well. Who specifically are you talking about? And Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it true that Ambode has said that he's going to run for 2027? Did he?
No,
Did he announce that?
No, I think that the group, one of his support groups that made that announcement clarified it, that was not what happened, that he's still consulting.
He's still consulting,
and that
but
he hasn't made any such.
In for Tinubu as well.
Oh yes, I think he's been clear about that
Okay,
from
so
day one.
who
But
are
GRV is
you talking about when you said some governors, Lagos governors? Because you're talking about politics being local, and you're running on the local level.
Leading question.
Very leading question. And while I'll give credit for certain policies like the open door court, I think that was done under Governor Fashola. The quality of urban art, regional sort of design that was done under Governor Ambode, I still have to say, the reason why Governor Ambode did not do his 2 terms is because he tried to push for a change.
Because he tried to push for
for certain changes. Government pushed back and they removed him, made him a 1-term governor. And then after that, you have governors that must go with this archetype that the Commonwealth serves the interest of one man and who he decides to serve. So unfortunately for the APC, even if they have the most brilliant men, as long as they go through that process to emerge, they must be answerable to that godfather. And that has held Lagos back for far too long.
GRV, a lot of people will remind you that part of the reason why you got more than 300,000 votes 2 years ago during the 2023 elections was because of the Peter Obi and the obedience factor. And I return to the question I asked earlier that you thought it might be a bit early. You have moved to ADC. If it turns out that Peter Obi will not roll with the ADC and it will be in PDP, what happens to your aspirations? Do you think that if an Atiku, for example, gets the ticket, given that PDP has said that they have zoned the presidential candidate to the south, don't you think that that might have a rippling effect on how the votes will go in Lagos State after the presidential election? Because what it therefore means is that there will be a 3-horse race at the federal, and then 2 weeks after, the same sort of struggle that happened. And then you now will repeat itself, and you will be running, if you choose to stay with ADC, without the obedience backing that you had 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're making a very strong assumption that obedience supporters, people that follow me, have not seen my consistency since the last election. I've not seen the fact that I not sell out. I was not bought. I took this bill all the way to Supreme Court. I've been doing health outreaches all over Lagos on my own dime, giving people micro-health insurance consistently. You underestimate how much more followership I have than I had in 2023. You are really underestimating a lot. And there's so much work that we are doing because we've been consistent. We've not gone on any break. We've not gone on any break since the elections. So when you say obedience as though it's just a group of people that are just hanging, people are watching. People want credible human beings that they can get behind.
Yeah, but why didn't they display that during the local government elections?
Because
where was ADC?
I agree
all
with you.
Across the states.
I agree with you. But you see the same thing in Rivers, right?
Well,
you see the same thing all across Nigeria. It's a reflection of the respect that people have for this government. If people don't believe in your system, on your process, it goes from the politicians to the party, all the way to the people. They don't believe, so they're not going to honor it. They're not going to come out, right? The first election I did was local government elections. I ran for local government of Ikeja in 2016 under Kowa party at the time. I remember going around doing my door-to-door. People were like, local government, these people don't do anything for us. They didn't have any faith in that arm of government. So they don't take it seriously. So I know the convincing we had to do, the hope we had to sell, the ideas and vision. But that is not what's happening. You don't have local government chairmen that are doing door-to-door to get people out selling an idea. And you expect people to come out. For what? For what? You're just going to vote people that are just going to be glorified subcontractors. They're not making a difference. The local government is closest to you. Again, I'm talking about all the LCDA chairmen that went to a field that I paid for, 7 p.m. at night with 80 policemen that drove on inner roads that are red and are terrible. So those people in that community, you think they care about voting for those people?
All right, so you believe that these movements, your followers, your supporters will follow you into the ADC
Most
when
certainly.
the time comes.
Most
Now,
certainly.
what is your immediate focus within the ADC? And how do you plan to leverage this, your support group or your influence to build that platform, the ADC?
You asked the question and you answered it.
No, I mean, I want to know.
No, it's true. You've just answered it. The idea, and I said this from 2023, once we finished our Supreme Court, I said, we need to build a coalition. Everybody must come together. From the SDP, AD, PDP.
Your immediate focus
is to build that coalition.
Okay,
that's what I'm doing. So even this thing that we're doing about going around divisions is to gather people, to talk, to bring in people, as many people, to have a unity of purpose. Because we cannot do this thing any other way. Right? So that's my immediate focus, and that's what we're going to be doing moving forward.
You feel comfortable when you guys get into the heat of the moment, into the heat of electioneering, you feel comfortable queuing behind Aregbesola to say that the party that he built, he was part of in building for a quarter of a century has failed, and therefore change will be needed in Lagos. You feel comfortable staying side by side with Aregbesola to say that to Lagosians? Would you get into the heat of the moment?
To say that to Lagosians. Aregbesola is the National Secretary of the Labour.
Yeah, but he will need to campaign with you.
He will campaign
in Lagos. And he will say that Lagos has failed?
Have you not heard him speak?
Does he say that Lagos has
failed?
failed?
Oh, yes. If you don't know, I can give you videos.
Clips.
I can give you video clips. Google Aregbesola in Koshofe.
And you think Lagosians will believe him?
It's the person that's inside that can tell you the shit that's in the house now. Okay. All of you are looking at the house from the outside.
Okay.
All right,
and that's why they are shaking.
You left the Labour Party. Many have said that the Labour Party is in disarray. On the headline today, on this day, I believe, what is his name? Nedi Usman of Labour. Nenadi Usman of the Labour Party talked about the Labour Party saying that the APC is desperately plotting to infiltrate its ranks and hijack its structures. What structures are there in place right now within the Labour Party? Because, you just moved, so I'm sure that you still have, your information.
Okay, so let me be clear on this.
Yeah.
Currently, there are two factions in the Labour Party, right? I think there's something we can all agree on.
Yeah.
There's the Nenadi group and there's the Apuri group. Now, the Nenadi group are pro-coalition, right? They've always said this. They've always supported the coalition. Now, the idea is a Supreme Court judgment came out. Up till today, INEC is yet to interpret that judgment. So INEC has not made a stand on who the leader or who the leadership of the Labour Party is or should be. By September, primaries for the next election are in March, April, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's in May. They're in May.
March, April, May.
Yeah, all right.
Right? So there's a lot of work that a political party must be able to do between now and then. And if you are in limbo, you don't know who or what you are every time to decide any particular thing that you do, but you have to go to court to get interpretation, it does not create stability for anybody to be able to run an effective campaign on, because it's 50-50, right? So in terms of structures that they are building, there's a caretaker committee across the entire country, right, in each state, and they are building their structures down to the ward level. So that's the structure. That's my answer to you. I can speak on the Nenadi Usman thing authoritatively, because that's the group that I'm associated with.
Right. All right. Just before we let you go, and just to be very clear, I know that you'll be gunning for the governorship ticket
Yes.
of the party.
Yes.
It's a coalition.
Yes.
If a primary holds and you do not get a ticket, will you stick with the party?
It's a coalition, like you said. There'll be no other place to go. Right? It's a coalition. We are bringing everybody together. So if you don't win there, where are you going to go? Everybody is already here.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it can be a coalition without the PDP. It can be a coalition without a few other parties.
I don't see.
No.
You don't know what she was going
No,
to
the
do.
coalition of the APC. No.
But you got my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I answered you.
Okay.
Valuable Rose Bible. It's been an absolute
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
speaking with you. And really sorry about the incident that
It's
occurred.
part of it,
And
and we keep
hopefully
going.
your
It's a
sister,
shame the level of
gets
violence
better.
is
intense.
Really, a big shame.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to seeing your campaign thrive. Hopefully,
Yes,
because
yes, it will.
like it appears, there's been
When
so
it
much.
starts,
Yes, when it
there's still
starts.
an embargo on
Yes,
campaigns.
when it
Yeah, I'm not
starts.
campaigning, we're just
Yeah.
gathering.
Yes,
Yeah. It's a meeting.
well.